What's up, guys? Today we've got a little special occasion. We're gonna be going and touring the Last Flight Calls warehouse, and we're gonna be taking you guys along for the journey. We're gonna show you guys how calls are made. We're gonna show you a little bit of what they do there, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It's gonna be pretty sweet. So yeah, we're 5 minutes away. We'll check in with you guys when we get there, and we'll give you a little tour. All right, we made it. We're finally here. Took us a minute to actually find the building, but you know, it's all right. We're finally here. So let's go take a peek at what's inside.
All right, guys, we are here at Last Flight Calls. Their new warehouse. They just bought this place. Super stoked to be here and talk to the guys and get to give you guys a rundown of how everything's made and how they run their business. So we're gonna go inside and say hi to Matt and show you guys what's up. So let's do it. Already blowing the calls in here. What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
What you guys got going on?
Just doing up some calls for store up north. How's the drive?
Oh, it was good. Not too bad.
How long is that? Hour and a half?
About 2 hours.
Yeah. Not too bad. Well, you want to show us around?
Yeah.
Show us how everything is done.
This is the world headquarters of Last Flight Calls, so it's a lot to see. Let me tell you. So let's start over there. Let me put my call down. So we get all of our material in from Dead Shot Polymers, and it looks like this. Basically, it's just a 4-foot rod of acrylic, and same with the Delrin, which is on the bottom row here. So that's what it looks like when it comes in. We got different sizes, so like this is all going to be for barrels because it's a wider diameter versus this. This is 1.25 inches versus 1.5 inches in diameter. So basically, when we come in here, we just pull off what we want to, whatever color we want to run, and we throw it into the machine here. Slide it into this hole here, and get it in the machine. It's machining some parts right now. That's in illusion insert. So yeah, that's that. And here's some parts that we just got done running. This lime green's pretty good color for us. This oyster is pretty popular. And as you can tell, when they come off the machine, they're dull looking. They're not shiny or anything. So there's still some work, a lot of work after this. The machine doesn't do nearly half of it or anything. So, all right, I'm gonna take you guys over to the polishing and finishing room. This is where the calls go from dull to looking shiny and looking good. So, I got my brother in here right now. He's been helping us out all summer. Basically, like I said, when they come off the machine, they're dull. They're not really that rough, but we do a little sanding on them. And then once you get them sanded, it's just a little bit smoother than what you had off the machine. So this is an ivory and camo band, and bring it over here. The buffing wheel is what really puts the shine on. We fire this up. As you can see, it's really getting shiny real quick. And all in all, between the sanding and this buffing wheel, we got 2 or 3 minutes, in here, so it's not terrible. All right, there you have it. Perfectly shiny. So once we get done shining it up, we go over here. So once they come out of the polish room, they're nice and shiny. We throw them in the bins back here, and this is what we pull from to, as we're running the laser and stuff. Space Sight has come in here, and here's all my different, programs I got out, or that we've made. Anything from custom work to, just last flight work. So we're going to run some some Deceiver barrels. So it's already set up. I already got it all mapped out. Let's see where our laser's hitting. You can see it's kind of way off of what we are normally running here. probably. That's pretty close. So once we get it off the engraver here, you can see that the part is it's engraved, but there's no color to it. It's just etched into the acrylic here. $700 laser engraver that I just made work. You know,
Right.
there was no option. I mean, you know, at the time we didn't have $20,000 to throw at a laser engraver, so yeah, I do want to upgrade this year. But you know, 2 years ago, we didn't have the money for that. You know, so $700 laser engraver, and that's what we do all of our calls on. It's done thousands of parts. Really, it's been good. So you know, once they come off the engraver, you can see they're engraved, but no color. So this is how we're gonna put color in it. Just go into here and just start slapping this paint onto here.
So all of your calls are hand painted.
They're all hand painted. There's no other way to do it. But this is how everyone does it. You know, there's no special machine to do this or anything. You know, I always get asked on, people always ask, you know, if it gets wet, won't the paint wash out of it or anything? But for the most part, it pretty much, it'll get dirty before it ever comes out of the engraving. So if you ever got, you know, a call that you want, you know, repainted or polished up that you've had for a couple of years, just send it to us, and it's something we'll just do for free. So once I get it all on there, like that, I wipe most of the extra off. So it's a nice thin coat and even, and we'll just sit there and let that dry. This will dry up in 5 or 10 minutes. So you videoing it drying?
Honestly, so far I'm super impressed. I had no idea how calls were made. I'm sure most of you haven't ever seen how calls are made either, and it's actually a super cool process of how they do everything. And now that I know that they do a lot of this stuff by hand, I'm gonna start taking a lot more pride in these calls. These are really, really well crafted calls, and they spend a lot of their time with these calls. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Yeah, Last Flight Calls, man, doing it right. Made in the USA, made in-house. A lot of the process, like Nick said, is, you know, done by hand. The tuning, the painting, so the polishing, the engraving is kind of done by hand. Really cool to see the process and, you know, understand how it's done.
So over here at this station, this is where we do all of our bands, and we do use a 2-part epoxy, and then we also do a pressure fit as well. So kind of doubling up to ensure that the band does stay on. If you ever have a band fall off, just send it back and throw it back on for free. But honestly, I've never had that happen. So just put a little bit of epoxy on here. And I'll get a couple ready to go. We also put these grooves in here to give the epoxy something to hang on to. So all of our bands are aluminum, and we get them Cerakoted just like you would a shotgun, and they've held up well for us. So you know, I can't really put that on anymore. So we'll throw this in the press. And sometimes you get a little extra on the outside. So before it dries or anything, we just like to get our rag on it. Get it all cleaned up. So that one's done and ready to go. In about 5 minutes, that'll be all set up, and the band isn't going anywhere. Once we get done putting the bands on the barrels here, we put them in these bins here, and this is what we're pulling from to, you know, make a complete call, just like you would see here. So, got my illusion inserts, illusion barrels, and then imposter barrels, and imposter inserts. This here is where we do all of our tone board work. So we got this little mill here last year, and you know, going from, you know, doing it all, you know, by hand. We still do a lot of stuff by hand, which you'll see later. But as far as the main tone board cuts, having the CNC here for that just improves the quality and the consistency of each tone board that we make here. So throw it in like this, tighten her down, and fire her up. This will take about 2 minutes on each tone board. Making some crackers. So this is where we do all of our tuning of all of our calls. You know, once it comes off the mill, you know, there's still a few things left to do here. It's not ready to go by any means. You know, this is the surface finish on this isn't as good as what you'd want, so we like to smooth that out. And also this cork notch here is round. We want to make that square. So basically we're just going to broach it with a file until it's square. As you can see, now we got that cork notch square, we're going to go ahead and start messing with the tone board some. So we go ahead and just a few swipes on the sandpaper here. Nothing crazy. Use some Scotch-Brite to help smooth it out. Then I'm going to use a nail file to take it one step further. So that's helping square up that cork notch even more. And I'm also getting rid of any major, you know, anything that's rough, too rough. Because if there's anything rough on this tone board, it's just gonna be way too raspy and too much rattle and whatnot in the call. What I'm doing here is just deburn this tone channel here, just to make sure you know, nothing's sticking up or in the way of the reed smacking the tone board. So this is going to be a single reed illusion, and the first step here is to see which way your reed's bending. And you want to put that bend so when you bend it, you know, it's going like that. So from here, we just want to seat that cork all the way in. And if you're at home tuning a call by yourself, always keep your thumb on this, on your cork notch tange here. You know, when you're pushing that in, because that can break off. So next, we're going to go ahead and trim up the cork. And once that's done, we can start trimming our reed back. And I pretty much have a good idea what I'm looking for, just from doing this so long, or so much really. So go from there and see what it sounds like. You can see it's a deep tone, not quite there. We just want to trim a little bit more off. And when I mean a little bit, look at these scraps here. You know, that's literally how much we're wanting to take off right now. Not a lot. So let's see how good we can do this. So, just a little bit, we'll change it. And we might have to do that, you know, 3 or 4 times even. Not quite there. Sounds all right, but we're not quite there. So right now the reed's perfect length, but I still don't like how much rattle is in there. So I'm gonna sand here just outside the tange. Literally, that's all I'm doing. It's enough sanding. And what I'm trying to achieve is just, you might not be able to hear it in the video, but the way it operates, just gonna operate a little bit smoother for you. Once we did that, let's try it. And that is now ready to go out to you guys. And these cabinets behind me is where we keep all of our finished products. So in this cabinet here, we're gonna have our imposters, which we're actually kind of running low on right now. Trying to build some inventory here. Next cabinet here, we have the illusions, which I have a little bit more of. And you also see some lanyards here. So this one's out and ready to go. Got our Paracord Lanyard here. You get 5 drops total. The 1 drop is for a whistle or mojo remote or whatever. And then, you know, 4 of these are detachable other than the bottom one. But got leather patch logo, and yeah, these things are pretty sweet. So the next cabinets here, we have our Deceiver Stockpile. So there's all the Deceivers. And then the Deception Stockpile, not looking too good. So you'd think this was our #1 seller, but it ain't. Thanks for tagging along today, guys. That's how you make a duck call. And this is the new shop, new world headquarters here. And if you want to check these calls out for yourself, go to lastflightcalls.net. And if you get one and you don't like it, send us a message and we'll give you your money back. We don't care, because we know you're gonna like it. So go check them out. And Nick's here.
Matt,
Appreciate you guys coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was fun. This is awesome.
Yeah, this has been incredible. It's been a really great learning experience for me and Grant, and I'm sure everybody watching. But guys, we're gonna take a real quick break. We're gonna eat some pizza, and then we're gonna go film a podcast, and that will be, the link for that will be down in the description.
Yeah.
All right, what's up guys? We just finished up the podcast and it's getting pretty late, so we're gonna probably be heading out. But Matt, thank you again for having us. I know you're busy at work over there getting orders done and prepared, but we do appreciate you having us out. And yeah, hey, we had a great time. Hope you guys learned a lot about the company and learned a little bit about how they operate around here. Make sure you check the link in the description. We're gonna be having their information down in the description below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you know every single time we post. But with that being said, peace out.